Aloha kako, Mike here again for Kia'i Conversations. Today we got Dayne with us, and he's gonna talk with us today. So you wanna, I guess, introduce yourself again, let us know where you're from, what you do for a living.
Aloha no kako, Makanaokalani Kaawalauole, no Hawaiian manalo mai au, no Hawai'i, pa lehua. I'm a full-time student at Leeward Community College. Last semester before I get my associates.
Oh, right on. What are you studying?
Business management.
Oh, right on. Awesome. So how long would you say you've been an activist?
I don't know. So the story goes, in 2015 I was active duty, and this is when Mauna Awakea got like that first real big news coverage of it. And I remember talking to my grandpa back home, and I was like, bro, what are they complaining about? And he was like, no, you need to understand this. And he broke it down for me, and then I did my own research, and I was like, from that moment, something inside of me was just, oh, I have to do something. I have to come home. I have to be there. And from then, I had learned about just social justice, period. I was living in the mainland in the southern United States, where they have real racial tensions between African Americans and police brutality. This is when like the whole thing was really building up with Ferguson and Black Lives Matter. So being able to watch that and talk to people and understand it, and then be like, you connect that bridge, like, oh wait, the US did that to you guys? Oh, they're doing that to us back in Hawaii.
Oh, right on.
That kind of injustices.
And then shout out to Jamie. I just had her on. Again, I was just talking to you about episode 7. She was with Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool that you know and you relate to all that kind of stuff, and you know their struggles. So like after having a conversation with her, like it kind of opened a different perspective with that too for me. So what made you join this movement? I guess maybe you just answer that just because like how your grandpa was talking about, you know.
I think it actually goes deeper than that, bro. I think it was being kanaka. Like I am Hawaiian. I'm Hawaiian by birth. I got the koko, live homestead my whole life. But you never really know. I was very westernized until I started to be reawoken and kind of understand who I am.
So how would you characterize this movement that we're in right now? Like just this most recent Hawaiian movement, like if you had to describe it.
Kuleana. I think it's, for me, I'm not going to speak for the rest of lāhui or Hawaii, but for me, it's kuleana. Wherever I can, whenever I can give. For my nation, I give my all, kind of thing.
Right on. So what have you learned through this movement?
A lot. I learned a lot about Hawaiian culture, and I learned a lot about what it means, like actually means to be kanaka, the responsibility, the kuleana that comes with it. But I understood a lot about myself. It kind of grounded me in like who Makanaokalani is. I found out who I am, and then from me being solid and being who I am as a kanaka and my kuleana, I'm able to go forward with that grounding and that mindset of like, hey, everything I do and everywhere I go and every time I hold myself up is for this reason, kind of thing.
Oh, right on. Awesome. I think that goes back to what you told me. You watch Kahuku's one, and he's talking about knowing, you know, your genealogy and knowing who you are. A few people have said that, which I think that is important. You know, knowing who you are. That way you can stand firm. You know what I mean? And like you said, move forward. So, why do you think this movement is happening? I can tell everyone, you know, we know Mauna Kea woke everyone up and everything, but like, say Mauna Kea is resolved, like what do you think is going to drive everyone still? Like what's the drive now besides just Mauna Kea?
The occupy Hawaii. No, I think it's deeper a little bit deeper than that. I think it's people are tired. Indigenous people are tired. People of color are tired of oppression. Indigenous people are tired of colonization. Over it, man. Like 127 years of injustices. It has to stop. I think that's what will carry from Mauna Awakea to Hunana Niho to Kahuku to Waialeale to everywhere else, and every aloha aina that needs to be aloha aina. It's everywhere. People are just tired of us being marginalized and, you know, disproportionately just pushed to the side. Over it.
Oh yeah, true. And then you bring up Kahuku and everything. So I know you're on front lines in Kalaeloa to get arrested the first night when they're trying to ship out parts over there. I was down there a few nights, and I was there that first night, and I was having to get some pictures of you guys. I think you've seen a few of them. But what led you to decide to get arrested that night, and especially thinking that, you know, you're not from Kahuku, right?
No.
I mean, we all stand together, but like, you know, why would you stand for that too? You know.
A few reasons. So I have family members who live in Kahuku that are from that community. So my auntie is a teacher over there, and my cousin, he's epileptic, so he's prone to seizures, and these turbines have caused a lot of health problems for him.
Like shadow flicker and stuff, right? Yeah.
I have another cousin who plays football over there, and they have a hard time practicing sometimes. And you know, I have family members who teach in the elementary and in the high school, and a lot of different things. And at that point, I had to sit there, and within my na'au, I felt I had to take a stand. I'm not from Kahuku, but it's a kako thing, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to take a stand.
Right on. Yeah, and I believe it is a kako thing, you know, and again, like, you know, just out of curiosity, why you would help stand with them. That's why I asked, but, you know, in all, we do need to stand together. It doesn't matter where we're from and all of that. And that's the beauty about this movement now, because everyone's united and just helping each other out. And that's the most beautiful thing about this. So after getting arrested and going through that whole process, what do you think you learned from that?
I learned how the justice system works with nonviolent direct action, how the courts handle the system, what to do. Like I'm actually still on trial. Oh yeah. Postponed my last court date till March 5th because the state wasn't ready to go at that time. I'm learning a lot, just kind of like how this all kind of plays out, and then you can kind of see how the state has intentions about kanaka and kanaka issues and aina. You know, you can kind of see what they're doing just by the way they react.
Right. Okay. So, what does kapualoha mean to you?
I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it.
I mean, there's probably a lot of us like always say that we all got to work on it, you know. But but when you think about it, what does it mean to you?
Kapualoha. I think when you have to be in a space that requires kapualoha, then it's kapualoha. If I don't have to, then I'm not going to. I feel like there has to be a balance between it. So when you're like Atipuake said, sacred space, sacred
conduct.
I was gonna say conduction. Yeah, sacred space, sacred conduct. When you're on that mountain and you're in front of Akua, you act accordingly. Same way like if you went to church, halepule on Sundays, you're not gonna make any kind.
Right.
But if you're at the beach with your boys, and it's any kind. So time and place. But as far as aloha aina goes, I feel like kapualoha is the key. Nonviolent direct action is it's a long-term game, but I think that's the right answer.
Oh, definitely. And again, I think when I was talking to Kahuku about this, and we're talking about kapualoha, I'll reiterate this, that our people, in my opinion, our people wouldn't be on Mauna Kea still if it wasn't for kapualoha, because obviously, you know, if we took violent actions, then, you know, the police are gonna, you know, respond in force too, you know. So again, like people, the police doesn't know how to respond to peaceful action like that, you know. And I guess bringing that up, we'll go back to Black Lives Matter. Have you saw like protests there, like firsthand and everything?
Yeah. When I was living in the South, like I wanted to understand it, and it wasn't only Black Lives Matter, it was any kind of social justice issue. This is around the same time that Trump got elected the first time, and there was a lot of issues. I had a lot of Muslim friends and a lot of Hispanic friends who actually got affected by this, by his Muslim ban and the wall and everything like that, and the deportations and police brutality. And it was like, I was sitting there watching all of this stuff, and this is before I really understood what kapualoha was. So in my head, I was like, well, the police don't respond to board hearings and community outcries and petitions. Stuff got done when people started to die. And you're like, does violence the only way that the U.S. government is going to see its wrongdoings? And in certain aspects, I mean, I'm not going to knock it because I'm not an expert on it. I just don't think, now looking at it, I think that kapualoha would be the non-violent direct action. Like I said earlier, it's a long-term game, but I think it works out better in the long run. So being a part of those protests it's kind of nuts, man.
Seeing the differences and everything.
Seeing the differences of how different communities handle what and how they feel is right, like how Standing Rock took a stand, and all these other issues. So give and take. Right, yeah.
Again, I think it's also about like where you're at, you know, like the space you're in, especially culture. It goes back to culture, you know, and that's in our culture too, like the kapualoha. And I would say probably, I don't know, I cannot speak for, you know, mainland culture as far as like African Americans and Hispanics and all that, but it's definitely probably different cultures than us and everything. So that's probably why the response is different.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the biggest challenge facing the Hawaiian people right now?
A lot. I think
One of the biggest.
One of the biggest, I gotta say, cost of living. I really do feel that the state is trying to tax Hawaiians out of Hawaii. Like, I just seen an article, the KHON2 News is talking about possible bills being passed to where if you live in a certain like suburban areas and you have rain drains in front of your house, they can tax you for the amount of rain that's collected there and passed through. And you're like, bruh, you can't tax, the state cannot tax its way out of this problem.
For the rain? Oh, is it because of like the upkeep of everything? Like
I want to say it's like
drainage.
Yeah, like the drainage, like the city and county has to do more to keep up with the rising population. So now they're gonna turn around and be like, all right, we're gonna add another tax. Granted, hey, look, it could be fake. It could be like one of those things they talked about and then it never really came up to fruition. But you notice it, like taxes and cost of living is expensive.
Right.
But our roads still suck.
Yeah.
Traffic's still one of the worst. Education's one of the lowest in the nation. Like, what are you really taxing people for? Poor, still poor. You know, it's hard to live here.
I was reading something, and I think it's like so much of our money goes into like administration.
Yeah.
Like we need to cut out more administration and put that money towards like the roads, like to something we can see, you know, like.
Yeah.
But I think I did hear a little bit something about that tax you were talking about, and again I think it was like, yeah, because they were talking about how they need to clear the canals and it takes time to do all that kind of stuff. So I think that was part of that whole thing, which is kind of messed up because so you live on the east side where it rains more
every day.
You know,
you're like
that's kind of
it rains like every day.
Right, yeah. So I think that's kind of unfair. Yeah.
It is, and I just trip, man. You're kind of like, well, you can't tax your problem, and then you ask like, where's the money going? Like Waikiki generates billions of dollars a day. Like, where's this money going? Why are we still living like this?
Oh yeah, definitely. Super PACs. That's where it's going. Super PACs. So do you think the government cares about the Hawaiian people and why?
No, I truly don't. Just because of what the government, like how it was established, like from the provisional government with the illegal annexation or illegal occupation of U.S. forces here from Stanford B. Dole to everything after that was just, you know, it had no solid grounding. But you got to look at it in that, I look at it in that sense of like, well, they were never in our best interest. So of course they're not gonna look out for us.
Right.
And especially now within the past recent years that we've taken a stand and said, you know, enough is enough. We're tired. And then now they're gonna be like, oh, for real? And that's why I feel like this is how man, they don't care about us.
So thinking about that, what do you think is the best way we can go about to make change?
A lot of different ways. I don't think change can come from just one thing. You can't just everybody vote once and then change is power. It's from an economical standpoint, I think deoccupying Hawaii would be the best option. But that takes from everybody just has to get on the same page first, and then from getting on the same page, then we're all on like, hey, everybody vote, and everybody know your candidates, and everybody vote for these candidates, and then when these candidates in power, then you support them, and then from them supporting them, you get people who have their own business, Hawaiians who own their own businesses, and then other Hawaiians that own businesses, you have Hawaiians that own land that fund the products for the businesses, and it's a even trade-off, and it's about restoring an entire governmental system that truly does look out for the people. I think that change really comes from it took 127 years for us to get here. It'll take 127 years and then some for us to get out of it, but it's possible. I think if we all generate our own economy and, you know,
become more self-sustainable.
Even that, like support local businesses.
Right.
Pay the extra couple dollars and support local businesses.
No, it's true. Yeah. Very good way to
off of like the kind. You don't have to like. I remember I was watching this one series about how it was like this diver. Her name is Kimmy. I think her name is Kimmy.
Yeah, Kimmy. Mine, not mine.
Were you the one that did that one?
No.
Her diving trip or whatever?
No. How's it? Oh, sorry. No more change.
No more.
Sorry.
Sorry, Unks.
Sorry.
No more, bro.
You know what picture? What?
I'm doing a video right now.
Video.
What? client for me?
Yeah. Shoots, cuz.
That's a first.
Hey, whatever.
It's all good though.
You want to edit that one out?
Nah, we
Leave
leave
them?
them.
Yeah.
Leave them. I don't even, where were we?
Self-sustainability.
Right, self-sustainability.
Buying local. Oh no, about the diving thing. So what she did was.
Yeah.
10 minutes or so.
Okay, right
Yeah.
on. Thank you. No interruptions today. No interruptions today. It's all good though.
Only on my video.
Self-sustainability.
Self-sustainability. No, but it's like instead of like buying all your groceries from a supermarket, hunt a little bit or go diving for your food, store that, and then, you know, maybe grow some small vegetables in your back garden that you can cut up and use or whatever. Small stuff like that. And from there, you just, little by little, I mean, drastic changes all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, no, and I've heard of a few people doing that, which is good, you know what I mean? We gotta keep that going right now, you know? So if there's any one issue you could solve immediately, what would it be?
Deoccupy Hawaii. Deoccupy Hawaii, man. From an economical standpoint, we're better off. You wouldn't have to deal with things like the Jones Act. Cost of living wouldn't cost you 3 jobs and all this other stuff.
Right, yeah.
A lot of different things.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot, but I know it's a hard one. That's a hard question to answer and ask everyone, because I know there's just a laundry list. Because I got one too, but sometimes it's good to see like what might be at the top of some people's list, you know. And deoccupying, I think some people would answer that because that's probably like the end all, you know. Like
Yeah,
once
it's kind of like a one, not press the button, fix all but thing.
Right, yeah.
But I think it addresses a lot of issues.
Self-determination can happen after that. That's why, yeah.
And you stop doing stuff like, bruh, we don't have to aloha aina because they're not gonna bomb, or you know, it's not like them bombing our aina for somebody else's war, or them taxing us for some other country to come in here, and all these other different things. Like, that's not our problem. We're worried about Hawaii, our people, and then we can go from there.
Right. Just how it should be.
Yeah, I know, bro.
So what do you think is the most misunderstood or most mischaracterized part of the movement? Like people on the other side of the fence, what do you think they say about Kia'i mostly?
Brah, their smear campaigns are so hard.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's like, I feel that the anti-kanaka arguments and the anti-awoken TMT guys or the pro TMT guys, they spend a lot of time and a lot of money in their marketing division trying to smear you know, it's like, I remember being in Kalaeloa, and then on some nights, officers, that one night that kind of erupted more than usual.
Right. That night.
I remember the news covering, and they're like, oh, well, police are justified. And I was like, because they were showing the video of the mom being angry. But what they didn't show was how the cop was aggravating and forcing his way onto the person in front of me, and how they had just grabbed an innocent boy, or a man, who was trying to pick up his auntie, and they grabbed him, they threw him on his head. And they're like, the mom seen that because she's like right next to me, and she's like, you know, she reacted, and then the camera cut on, and you're like, no, like, so misinformation, like, and if anybody has any questions or you feel kind of on the fence, you hear 2 sides of the story, come. Everybody is welcome. Hele mai kako.
So that is the next question. What would you say to someone, you know, who is on the other side of the fence? If you had a chance to talk to them, you know, like what would you want them to know?
I don't know what I would want them to know. More so, like, if they have any questions, hey, like we can sit down and we can have a civil conversation about this, like adults, and talk about it, and either agree to disagree, or maybe I can persuade you to think differently. And maybe from me persuading you to think differently, you're able to maybe come out to one of the, maybe like a march or something, or hold sign somewhere, and then from there you talk story with everybody else, and little by little, it's one by one. Everybody's welcome. Hele mai. Hele mai kako.
No, I say the same thing. I know this is called Kia'i Conversations, but I'm always open to having anybody on this. People on the other side of the fence of our issues and everything. I wouldn't mind talking to anyone if anyone ever wants to come on and have a civil discussion about, you know, what's going on and how you guys feel versus how we feel. And I don't want to make it a you versus me kind of thing, but you know, like we need to have these discussions, and you know, because we all gotta live together. Like we're all neighbors, you know, so we gotta be civil about it.
Just talk about it.
Yeah,
I think that's the most important thing, is that, you know, people are scared to have that conversation. They're scared to kind of sit here and be like, oh, if you disagree with me, then we can't be friends no more. And you're like, nah, I have plenty of friends that don't like the way I think or don't. Right. You know, I still love them. I still look after them if they need looking after. Or, you know, it's just disagreeing. To have that conversation is probably the most important thing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go on to something from Milia Siango. Sorry, I think I'm saying that right. She wanted to ask a question. Her question was, what would you want your legacy to be? And I think the way she put it is, so for your mo'opuna down the line, your lineage, how are they going to remember you? How would you want to be remembered by them?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Brad, thanks a lot. I would want my mo'opuna and my great grandkids and all the way down the line to look up and be like, I would want them to look at me and be like, Grandpa Makana stood for something, and he fought. He gave his all for his nation. I'm actually a direct descendant of Robert Wilcox, and so coming from that lineage, you feel like you have to not live up to it, but you can kind of see the correlations between the two. But someone who just, in same sense, like being firm but loving. Makanaokalani means gift from heaven, to be that gift for other people, to help wherever people need help, to reach out and be that person, but also to take a stand and to be firm and to fight for something. I would hope that that's what they look at me one day and be like, oh, Grandpa, I heard you was doing this, bro. What was up? Like, oh, let me tell you this, cuz.
Well, I think you're on the right track, and I got the pictures to prove it from kalaeloa. So you know what I mean? Like, you gotta hold on to that, and I think that's, for me, honestly, that's what it's all about. Documenting this stuff, taking pictures, is just for everyone to see. At first, for me, it was for my mo'opuna to see what had happened, like where this movement started, and everything that happened after that. So hopefully, in documenting, then people can see that. Like it's the digital age, so there's no excuse to be able to do this stuff. You know what I mean? And there are a few of us out there. Shout out to Greg. I know Greg is always out there. But
Carlos, Nate.
There's a few. Oh, and Nate. Sorry, Nate. I forgot about Nate. But it's good to have all of us out here. At least there's a few of us, so we can leave the majority to participate and do all the things like the marches and all that while we document. So it's a nice thing. It's a beautiful thing. So
mahalo for all you do, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. But so as a kia'i, what do you think is the best way for someone to contribute into the movement?
To the aloha aina movement, or just like the whole thing is a general?
I guess you would consider like the aloha aina movement, when it comes to our state, people within our movement, other kia'i. So other kia'i, how can they, what do you think is the best way for them to contribute? Like people at home, like, oh, I don't know, I want to come out, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what is the best thing for me to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Best thing in that context, for people who are kind of on the fence or at home and wondering like, oh, what do I do? Like you being the individual is more than enough. Come sit with us, come sing with us, come dance with us, learn, ask questions. I'm so niele, I ask so much questions.
That's good.
But ask questions, figure it out for yourself. And then if you are part of it and you understand it and you have that grounding is you as a kanaka, you understand who you are, I would say do whatever you do it for the lāhui of Hawaii. So if you're an entrepreneur, then make sure that your businesses align with aloha aina practices, or in some way, shape, or form, it has that kind of, because I think that's the most important. If you are into politics or into law, and make sure that you stand up for your people and you stand up for West Pono, because you are supported. I want to make that emphasis that you have kanaka, like, bro, we all support you. I will. Come let me know. Put your tent up for your whatever, but you are supported, and it's important. The more that we do that, the better off we'll be.
I think I can attest to that too. Like I never felt more supported through even this work, or just anything, and I can see the support across the board for people trying to do stuff when they have the lāhui backing them. Like you can. It's just sometimes I get like super like like almost shed a tear. I get choked up. It's like just people are just shouting out to me sometimes with support of not necessarily just for this stuff, but like just in things in general sometimes, and you see it out there too. Like when someone needs help with something, boom, you see like all the support come coming in, you know, and it's just crazy. So just to expand on that, like I would say you do have the support, you know, just come, don't be shy, and you know, just do your thing, and you know, you have the lāhui here. And then I guess one more thing, you want to address the lāhui, anything you want to say, anything you want to plug, you can Instagram, whatever you want to say. Like
nothing, I don't want to plug anything, but mahalo. I just mahalo everybody for all the support that you guys have given me, for as much as I learned from people that teach me. I love it. I mahalo you guys so much. I'm excited. Right, we generated over 30,000 people for our march last year, and through Hawaiian over 30,000 people. So I'm excited what 2020 has for us. I say at least 40. At least 40, man.
Do it.
I think we can do it. Like in Kanaka and Kanaka supporters, mahalo. Mahalo for all you guys do and your individual, various, whatever. I appreciate it.
You know, so that wraps up another episode. Mahalo to Dayne over here for coming out, taking the time to speak with me. Just want to say, again, just, you know, everyone, you know, get educated, get involved, you know, do your due diligence, you know, and then just kind of
to that, go to school. Even if it's a trade school, go to school. Educated people make more money, which makes better for the economy. And if we restore an economy with educated people, then we're better off that way. Go to school.
Yep, educated kanaka makes a stronger lāhui. You know, not just, and then just even that, and then I think one of my last talks that's going to be coming up is just, you know, for me, even education is just YouTube University. Like if there's a topic I want to know about, you know, watch YouTube, like go check it out, you know, do your research on the overthrow and get all the details, whatever it is, you know, there's so much information out there. Do your due diligence. Like I said, just get educated, and then if not, you can always come out, get involved, and get educated that way. There's so much information out there, so much people out there with mana'o and just ready to talk if you're ready to listen. You know,
pocho, bro.
Yeah, most of the time you just gotta listen. That's all you gotta do too. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to hula or nothing. Just come
sit
out
there and listen.
Yeah, absorb everything. You know. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and
mahalo,
you know, we'll see you guys on the next one.
We hope.
Aloha.